As the smoke from Normandy still lingered over the beaches and the echoes of victory had not yet faded, another war, silent, secret, and equally brutal, was unfolding in the shadows. It was not fought with bullets or bombs. It was a war of intellect, of faith, and of those whose names would never appear in history books. In locked rooms across London, Washington, and Moscow, hundreds of cryptographers, scientists, engineers, and spies worked day and night. They wore no uniforms. They did not march to the front lines, but every number, every signal they deciphered could save thousands of lives. In Britain, inside an old mansion known as Bletchley Park, a small group of young minds had been gathered. Among them were mathematicians, linguists, and electrical engineers, and one man stood out, Alan Turing. He was quiet, awkward, but possessed a mind unlike any other. Turing and his team were given an impossible task: to break the code of Enigma, the German encryption system believed to be unbreakable. Every day, thousands of Enigma messages were transmitted. They carried orders, submarine coordinates, and attack plans. If the code could not be broken, the Allies would remain blind. If it could be broken, they would know the enemy's every move before it happened. After months of failure, the metallic gears in a small room finally began to turn. Turing and his colleagues built a machine capable of decoding Enigma messages in hours instead of months. It was called the bomb. When the first words appeared, meaningless symbols transforming into human language, they knew they had just changed the course of the entire war. It was said that Turing's work shortened the war by at least 2 years and saved millions of lives. Yet none of them were celebrated. Their mission was secret, their sacrifice invisible. While scientists fought with logic, spies waged war in silence. In Paris, thousands of civilians joined the French resistance. They carried messages, hid weapons, forged documents, sabotaged railroads, and cut communication lines. Men, women, even children, all driven by one belief: France must be free. Many never lived to see that freedom. They were captured, tortured, sent to concentration camps. But even in the darkness of interrogation cells, they remained silent. One young woman, before her execution, managed to whisper, "You can kill me, but you cannot kill freedom." Those words became immortal, engraved into the conscience of humanity. In the Auschwitz concentration camp, where millions were imprisoned, a Jewish doctor wrote on the cell wall in his own blood, "As long as someone remembers us, we still exist." The letters were trembling and faint, yet they burned like torches in hell. That was the dark heart of war, where evil was legalized and humanity stripped away. Millions of Jews, Poles, Roma, the disabled, and others were sent to their deaths. They were enslaved, experimented upon, and burned in furnaces. Black smoke rose from chimneys, and trains carried human lives to places with no return. These are images the world must never forget. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, another group of scientists was racing toward a terrifying goal: the Manhattan Project. They did not know exactly what they were building, only that it was a weapon to end all wars. In the deserts of New Mexico, thousands of engineers and physicists worked in secrecy. They built radioactive reactors, measured radiation, and calculated the critical mass of uranium and plutonium. The project's director, Robert Oppenheimer, once said, "I do not know if we are creating the instrument of victory or the instrument of annihilation." When the first atomic bomb detonated, its light was brighter than the sun. At that moment, humanity entered the nuclear age, an age where the line between victory and extinction grew thinner than ever. But while scientists fought to end the war, millions of ordinary people fought simply to survive. In London, children slept in bomb shelters as explosions thundered overhead. In Moscow, civilians shared thin slices of bread, waiting for rare supply trains. In North Africa, wounded soldiers lay under the stars, wondering if help would ever come. And in Japan, air raid sirens became part of daily life. Cities like Tokyo, Osaka, and Yokohama were bombed relentlessly. Each morning, survivors gathered the remains of their loved ones, rebuilt what they could, and waited again for the next siren to sound. War did not only kill with bullets, it killed with fear, with hunger, and with endless waiting. Mothers sent sons to battle and never heard from them again. Wives waited 10 years only to receive a nameplate in a tin box. Children grew up never knowing the faces of their fathers. Statistics, millions dead, tens of millions wounded, hide what war truly is, an immeasurable tragedy. Behind every number was a life, a laugh, a name, a song unfinished. Amid the fire, people began to rediscover each other in unexpected ways. A wounded German soldier was saved by a Russian nurse. An American pilot shot down over China was hidden for 3 months by local villagers. A Jewish boy was adopted and hidden by a Polish family until the war ended. Small, quiet stories, but they proved that even in the blackest darkness, humanity had not yet died. Inside Bletchley Park today, the old Enigma machines remain. Rusty gears, cracked walls, faint echoes of typewriter keys. And in the center of the silent room hangs a small plaque with the words, "Sometimes the greatest battles are won in silence."